hello again. This is another little spot of OPC Let's Play action. As you can see, we are playing Borderlands 2 from the very start. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you have seen this about a million odd times. This is Yaster.
Hello, and I am Serum Lake.
Nice one, nice one, nice one. Yeah, I was a bit, well, Borderlands 2, thing is that Borderlands 2 has been out for over a week now, and there is no shortage of footage which people are recording about of the game, really, and I was kind of a little bit funny to actually. Well, actually, you know what? I was keen to not view any videos because I was a little bit late in getting a hold of the game. The game came out on the Friday and I got it on the Monday, and I was just trying to avoid all videos and stuff that people were posting. Hopefully by now it's not too spoilerific for most people out there.
No, I think so. If anyone's interested in Borderlands, they've probably played it already.
Yeah. Well, this footage is me playing. I'm starting a new game because I was recording this on someone else's machine. So I thought I'd just start with a different character. I'm playing the game as Sal. Here in this footage, I'm playing as Mia or Maya, whoever it is. That's me looking inside of Claptrap.
Wonderful. I've always wondered what he looked like on the inside.
The game always used to. They did that in the first Borderlands. Every time that this guardian angel talks to you, it just pauses. Like you get a little freeze for a brief second. But I'm playing as Salvador in my main playthrough. So yeah. Oh, are you playing through as anybody?
Yeah, I've forgotten his name, but he's the soldier, the guy with the sentry turret.
Axton.
That's the one.
I suppose you give them your own name, don't you?
You can do. You can call them whatever you want, but I just went with the default name because I'm not really fussed what they call me. I just wanted to play.
Plus, also, I'm also kind of wondering about if I want to transfer my save games into my cloud storage and whatnot. I mean, does it? I can't remember if it tells you what class it is that you're transferring over. But if I see somebody with like some random name, I don't know which character that's going to refer to. I've forgotten what they're called. I don't know about you, but I love Borderlands. I do.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the first Borderlands. It was a kind of a surprise hit, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit of a. I'm tempted not to say sleeper hit. I don't think it was a sleeper hit, really. I think it was always going to be. Oh, there's a sexy Claptrap on the wall just there. It was always going to. I think it did as well as I thought it would. But this time round, they really seem to be going all out.
Yeah, definitely. It's certainly a case of bigger.
Bigger, better.
And, yeah, bigger, better.
And more good. And that's another good thing. General opinion is that they have fixed everything that was wrong with the first one.
Pretty much, yeah.
We're not listening to the dialogue at the moment when we're recording this, but at the beginning when Claptrap gives you the little echo, which is basically the heads-up display, he does specifically mention that it has a mini-map in the top corner. In the top corner. Sorry, we've got people talking to us. And that's me getting a trophy, a nice one. You can clearly see that's on someone else's machine because I've already got that trophy. Yeah, things like the mini-map and stuff like that. What else was wrong with the first one, would you say, that they've finally addressed?
Oh, being able to pick up money automatically.
That's good as well.
That was always an irritant in the first one. Like, oh, for God's sake, of course I want the money. I'm never going to turn the money down.
And ammo as well. I wasn't picking up ammo there automatically, and if you open that, things like that. By the way, that little Claptrap that's lying there is the sort of dapper Jacobs Claptrap from Zombie Dr. Ned thing.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
That's the little design on his thing. I only just noticed that when I was recording this footage. Yeah, if you're opening up an ammo cache, a case or something like that, then you won't pick up the money or the ammo automatically. However, if you're smashing open a little thing like that, which I did just there, you will pick that up automatically. And if you kill some fool, then you'll get money and whatever he drops automatically.
Yeah, that's enough of a fix for me. I think I'm satisfied with that solution.
Yeah. Also, the game's generally funnier, I think, this time around as well.
Yes, there was always kind of an underlying hint with Claptrap in the first game that there was something a little off with him, but they are much more overt about him being a psychopath in this game.
Yeah. Obviously, he was just like this little kind of helper droid, I think, in the first one. You know, he was sent by his manufacturer to acclimatise you, I guess, to Pandora if you're like a newbie. Whereas this time he's been through all the stuff that he went through in for example, the last DLC from Borderlands 1, not the Secret Army, Claptrap's Robot Revolution or something like that.
That's right, yeah.
So yeah, we have already battled with Claptrap, and now here he is here stuck in the middle of like the frozen nothingness of Pandora, which is an area of the game world that we never would have thought would have existed in the first game, because it was pretty much all just I'm trying to say deserts. No, it wasn't even deserts. It was just
wasteland, wasn't it?
Just wasteland and generally a big dump. Actually, was it not the case that when you approached the vault in the first game, that was a bit snowy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's at that point in the game where you thought that you're getting close to, there's the sort of alien type creatures, I guess.
That's right.
Guardians, I think they're called. I guess they're Vault Guardians. I don't think it was like alien technology. It was though, wasn't it? The Iridian weapons, isn't that alien technology?
I think so. It has been. When did Borderlands come out? 2 years ago?
09. That was like.
Oh, good lord, even longer than that.
I think it was 09. Yeah, it was. Because I remember it from the. It was just shortly after. It was like a year after I started here. I went to. Recently we've just been at Eurogamer Expo. If there's enough time, we might talk about Eurogamer Expo at the end of this video, because I've recorded about half an hour of this footage. Which you, the viewer, will already know, because you've no doubt already looked at the progress bar at the bottom. Yeah, I remember it from the first time I went to Eurogamer, so that was 2009, just a year after I came down here. So a lot of things fixed, a bit funnier. It's a different writer this time round. It's this guy called Anthony Birch, who I think was originally, he was at Destructoid. I think.
Oh, was he?
A lot has been said about him, and his sister does a voice in this game. The pair of them do this video on, which used to be on Destructoid. I think it's on Game Trailers now. It's Hey Ash, What You Playing? Which I think a lot of people on the internet have heard of. But it's not something that you can sort of generally say to somebody in passing. Oh, did you see the latest Hey Ash, What You Playing? I've got no bloody idea what you're talking about. I actually came across that character that she plays at home recently, Tiny Tina. Quite a funny character. And already in the game, the first enemies that you come across are completely new character models. Not character models really, but a completely new type of enemy.
Yeah, they weren't in the first Borderlands.
No.
Could you just tell us a little bit about that challenge completed that just popped up on the
Yeah,
side?
something that's been well documented is that the game has a new badass ranking system, which this time is... oh, that's me just loaded up properly. There are little kind of like small challenges. There were small challenges in Borderlands 1 as well if you looked at your ecosystem. And generally they would just give you XP rewards that would count towards this character, but this time round, by doing little challenges like using certain weapons, certain amount of times, getting a certain amount of headshots, killing a certain type of enemy multiple times, it'll contribute towards challenges, and the challenges will contribute towards a badass level, and every time you go up a badass level you get a badass token. And when you choose to redeem that token, you can improve some of your basic stats.
I see.
And that includes things like... there's a bit in my footage a little bit later on when I decide to... Did I actually do that already in this footage?
You haven't done it yet.
I haven't done it yet,
It's
but
coming up in a minute, I think.
I think it was right at the very beginning I decided to go into my my ecosystem. But yeah, you've obviously seen the footage. You can apply it to... It's things like gun damage and melee damage and...
overall health
and your shield regeneration. And the good thing about it is that will carry over to any other characters that you have on your profile.
Does it?
Yeah. So say for example I'm playing through as Mia just here, and I get a good way through. I get a couple of badass tokens. I apply them to some stats. If I choose to stop and play as like the Gunzerker or play as Axton like you are, then it will just all those stats will carry over, and it's really good. It encourages people to play through the game multiple times.
Yeah, definitely.
To experience all that the game has to offer, which is good. Borderlands 1, I think I did a couple of playthroughs with some characters. Some characters I actually did a couple of playthroughs with the same character. For example, like I would have gone as like the Siren for one playthrough and gone through certain skill trees, but then I would play through as her again and go through a different skill tree.
Yeah, just to see how that one character differs depending on the choices you make.
Yeah. So then, if a friend invited me into their game, I can ask them how their character is and what strengths and weaknesses they have, and then just use a certain character that I've got to complement that, which is good.
Here we go.
Here we go. So I'm going for like gun damage because I want to be able to shoot people. Oh.
And it's when you upgrade one aspect, you can't just continually upgrade the same thing, can you? That one disappears for a short while and makes you.
Yeah. It gives you a different bunch of options each time you try to redeem a token. So you can't just go gun. Really. For the footage here, I don't go any further than this section. By the way, it's absolutely massive this time around.
Because this isn't like the whole game world, is it? This is just the first section of the game.
Yeah, that's just like. In fact, Claptrap's a little pad there, which I think appears in the fast travel pod, so you can actually go back there. I haven't ever gone back there yet. I've gone back to this place a couple of times because there's a couple of missions that are out here that maybe I neglected to do from the first bit, but I was going through my missions and I ended up back here. But they're absolutely huge. And when I played this for the first time, it was kind of overwhelming a little bit. I wasn't sure where to go. I had played Borderlands 1 multiple times, but I knew the areas like the back of my hand.
Yeah.
Even like it gets to a point where some of the Rust Commons levels, there's there's 2 of them, and I used to just get lost in them. I didn't really know what was where I was going, and I used to fast travel all the time. But after a while, I played through the game multiple times. Like I said, that's me shooting through the fence there before Claptrap's even opened it.
I did the same thing.
Yeah.
Actually, I jumped.
I didn't do it the first time around, but I did it that time around because when you play the game for the second time, you do feel as if you're invincible sometimes. And yeah, I'm playing as the Gunzerker on my proper playthrough. But in Borderlands 1, I used to play as the Siren. I played as the Siren a couple of times, and I really did feel as if it was she was a really good rushdown character. You can just stream in and just destroy everybody and knock folk over. I would jump around an awful lot. I'd shoot people in midair and things like that.
Yeah, I rather predictably and quite boringly played as the soldier in Borderlands. I've messed around with the Berserker as well, but I've grown an attachment to the sentry turrets. I just find them all too useful, so I've decided to go as Axton in this game.
Yeah.
I don't know if I will try the other classes. I probably will.
Yeah, I would recommend at least doing a couple of other playthroughs. I think there's also some trophies that are specific to certain characters as well.
Ah, okay. In that case, I might have to do another playthrough as a different character.
Did you platinum the first game?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and you had to get at least up to level 5 of all the other characters and
That's
use their
right.
special thing a couple of times.
The only thing I didn't get all of the trophies on was the Mad Moxie's downloadable content.
Yeah.
Because that was just horribly not fun.
I think this is definitely a game that I'm going to attempt to get a platinum for in this game. In fact, the level 50th one's not even going to be the last one I get. I think it'll be. I'll get that. I'll get up to level 50 with whatever character I'm playing as, and then just start playthroughs with the other characters. I haven't had a good look at the trophy list in any great detail, but if it's the same as Borderlands 1, then that's the way I'm going to do it.
It did seem quite similar, from what I recall.
Yeah.
Although I haven't studied it extensively.
Yeah. And of course, although Borderlands 2 has 4 brand new characters for you to play as, the old characters in the first game are not absent from the game.
That's right. I've only come across one of them so far.
Who was that?
It was Roland, the soldier.
But yeah, you haven't actually met him yet. He's just been talking to you.
I've spoken to him. Yes, I haven't met him yet.
Yeah. Well, before you meet him, you meet Lilith as well. So yeah, she's the first one that you meet in the flesh. At the point of the game where I am on my main playthrough right now, I've met Mordecai.
Oh, okay.
Who people have seen him in some trailers and in a bit of preview footage that some websites have done. He is up the top of this big tower in the tundra area, which is where you meet Tiny Tina, and he basically snipes people for you.
Okay,
Give-
that's quite good. So making good use of his skill sets then. So it's not
Yeah.
like they've just completely forgotten that he was the sniper character in Borderlands 1.
That's right. He's also been a. He also seems to be a bit of a drunk, and that's what's interesting about the way that the older. This is me trying to put the claptrap's eye into Hamlock's hand. Come on, stand still. There you go. Finally, got it right. What was it? What's interesting about the way that the old characters are portrayed in this game is that they never used to say all that much in the first game. It was just a couple of comments here and there, you know, like Roland would open up a chest and he'd go, "Oh, it's just like Christmas," and they would say things like they would shout and they go "ah" and all this kind of stuff. But now they've actually got proper dialogue, proper conversations, and they've got their personalities are a lot more clear in this one. So it's obvious that Roland is a bit of like he's a very stern, kind of humorless sort of soldier type character.
Yeah.
Lilith is kind of maybe a little bit more laid back than I thought she would be. Haven't met Brick yet, but according to the little booklet that I got with my ultimate, I'll talk about the Ultimate Loot Edition in a minute. By the way, some of you might have seen like pictures on Twitter of me not opening it, but me sort of showing off the box. According to the little armor book, Brick is in the game, but apparently he's fallen in with a couple of unsavoury characters. So I don't know. I think he might be some sort of anti-hero or something.
Oh, okay.
Who knows? Maybe you have to shoot him. Maybe you have to kill him. Brick.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
I am quite partial to Brick.
Brick was like the last character that I played as in my last playthrough of Borderlands 1.
I think he was probably the most, well, maybe not the most unique one, but I think he was probably the most, yeah, I'm going to just say he's the most unique one because his special skill was that he would just stop using guns and just punch the crap out of people.
I spent a bit of time on the official Borderlands forums for a wee while, and I think the general opinion of Brick was that people didn't really think that he brought anything to a group of players when you're playing it in co-op. I think a lot of his moves are just basically serve him, whereas, like for example, Roland could throw down his turret and it would have a ring of where you can like gain health, and that would apply to all characters. He also had a skill where he could shoot other like playable characters and it would give them heal them. Yeah, Brick didn't really have any support skills.
No, he was very much a kind of front lines character, wasn't he? Someone you'd send into a massive group.
Yeah, which is a kind of a support, and like for example, I think a Brick could complement a Mordecai. Mordecai stays at the back while Brick could distract people and run after them. So I got the Ultimate Loot Edition, like I said.
Yes, you did, and had it delivered to the office for us all to drool over.
Yeah, I don't know if obviously every time like a big game comes out on the forum, there's a lot of discussion about what retailers will send you the game early, and there's a lot of disappointment sometimes from people that are still waiting for their game on Friday when the game should be coming out. I always have a bit of a, well, I don't really say anything like that, but I usually get a little bit annoyed by people who complain about not getting games on Fridays, because technically you shouldn't really be getting the game a day early. It's nice to do that, and I don't mind talking about I don't mind having you talk about games that you released early. It's not illegal or anything like that, but games do have release dates. But the point I was coming to was I didn't get this game until Monday. I was able to play it earlier on in that day because you had a copy.
That's right, yeah.
And I played that for a wee while. But my Ultimate Loot Edition, I didn't know anybody else in the forum. I know that other people were ordered the game from the retailer that offered the Ultimate Loot Edition, and they were getting it on Thursday like they would normally do.
Yeah.
But I think you were also saying that there were other people that had ordered the Ultimate Loot Edition but didn't get it for a while.
Yeah, I had heard, although not through official sources, mind you, I had heard that there were issues with the delivery that had held it up by a few days.
Yeah, which I can imagine, which is kind of understandable. It's not really sort of certain people's fault.
No retailer wants to deliver bad service, do they? They don't. They want happy customers. They want to get the stuff out there, and they want to get the money as soon as they can.
Yeah.
They don't want to go, oh, actually, do you know what? These Borderlands Ultimate Loot Editions, let's keep them and make a fort out of them.
But no, I mean, thanks very much to that particular retailer for offering me that. It's I paid for it, by the way. It's not a favour. It's not a favour or anything that they gave me. I actually parted with the £100 to purchase the Ultimate Loot Edition. The box is sitting on my desk. It's the main centerpiece of the Ultimate Loot Edition is an actual small replica of the red loot chest from the game. I haven't seen that many of them on the playthrough that I've been in, but you saw a lot of these ones in Borderlands 1. It's great. It doesn't open up automatically.
No, there's no pressing square to get it to open up.
No.
Unfortunately.
There's a button on the front which you press, which will unlock it, and then you have to manually yourself open it up. And inside there's no guns, unless you've already put a gun in it, which I did. But there's no little shelves which come out and present its contents in the nice way that the game does. But it's great. I mean, there's an artwork booklet that I mentioned. There's things like postcards. There's a cloth map of the game world, which is great. Marcus Bobblehead, which you might have seen. I've got a thread in Warren Shoot 'em Up's general discussion. It's a caption competition, which doesn't have a prize at the moment, but if you fancy seeing my bobbleheads that I've got on my desk, that's the place to go and see them. A lot of good stuff in the Ultimate. Oh, it's got had a copy of the game in there as well, which is great because I could really have done with playing that.
Now that would have been something, wouldn't it, if they sent you the Borderlands loot box and there was no copy of the game in there?
Yeah. This footage has already been going on for 20 minutes, so hopefully people have been interested in stuff that we're seeing. I don't get any further than this section. I do this mission, this shielded favors. I think I'm actually about to go into fight for your life mode here.
Wonderful. Yeah.
That was good. Yeah. There's a lot of moments like that in this game.
So many destructible, like explosive objects that you can use to take enemies out, and they're obviously part of the challenges as well, aren't they? Like getting X amount of explosive kills or whatever. Now I love this fight for your life feature.
Yeah, you can now move. That's another improvement, which is great. I didn't realise that at first when I was playing through a Salvador.
Neither did I.
But this, I think this is me using the assault rifle. I think for a while there I was using the submachine gun. The submachine guns in this game are still like the ones in the first one, but some of them have a good bit of sway before, as you are squeezing the trigger. Sometimes you have to like be holding it down for a short while before it straightens out.
I think they've done a good job as well of differentiating between the weapons as well, because there are some weapons, they're all entirely randomized, as they say in the promotional material for this game. You know, there's a gajillion weapons, or whatever word they made up to imply that there are lots. The first weapon I picked up that was randomized was a pistol that when you pressed reload, it became a grenade, so you could just chuck it at people and it would blow up in their face.
Well, there's a lot of weapons in this game that are like that. Yeah. But that's a very good feature. I mean, that's a very good feature. Another person I don't know who it was in the forum, I think it was Fury's Embrace, was saying that he found a weapon that was developed by a Hyperion being the same company that makes Claptrap. It was a sniper rifle that spoke to you. So it would like comment on your abilities. So say if you were missing some people, it would like tell you that you're missing enemies and that you should probably give up.
I've also come across someone, I think it was on our forums actually, saying that they have come across I believe it was a sniper rifle, but I'm not entirely certain now. But basically it had infinite ammo and you didn't need to reload.
That's the kind of weapon I want to get a hold of.
I was thinking about getting in touch with him, seeing if he wanted to trade for my explodey pistol. But now that you've told me that they're very, very common, I don't think he's going to go for it.
Of course, in the first game, for the Siren, there was a class. For those that don't know, classes are the sort of passive ability sort of items that you can apply to yourself, which give you certain things, certain abilities, and certain stat increases. So I had one for, and it gives you a little kind of title underneath in the middle there where my leveling is. For example, for Salvador, you can find one called Tank, and it would you'd apply the Tank class mod to yourself, and it would say Tank at the bottom there, and that would give me extra health, for example. In this game, there's a couple of those, but they actually like reduce some of your stats for some of the things.
Oh, really?
But in Borderlands 1, they were in Borderlands 1 as well. And the Siren had one which gave you regenerating submachine gun ammo. And I I would like, you get that around about level 23 or something like that. So I was playing for the majority of my first playthrough before I could actually find one of these, and as soon as I found one, I was just like, yeah, this is going to be my class mod for the rest of it. It was called the Mercenary class mod. Basically, it gave me infinite ammo. So I'm kind of looking forward to picking one up in this game. Chances are, though, that if there is actually a regenerative health class, that it'd probably like give you like about 2 energy points.
Yeah, probably. Because I made great use of the soldier's abilities in the original Borderlands. I had some great equipment and some mods that basically meant that my shield was constantly refilling, as was my health. And whenever I deployed the turret, that gave us an extra health boost. So I never had any problems, apart from in the Mad Moxie DLC, which was just too hard.
Have you played it in co-op with anybody yet?
Not this game, no. No, not yet. I've actually barely touched it, to my shame.
Yeah. I had a couple of I've had some friends join me when I've been playing the game sometimes. Some of the big questions that the game got before, well, after it had just released, and people that hadn't played, I get stuck in a blinking corner here, which is really annoying. I'm so surprised that I managed to get out of this. People were asking about voice comms. Are the voice comms any better? The answer to that is yes. Voice comms have improved greatly in this particular version of the game. This is me changing my weapon really quickly to a pistol to try and get these guys. But when it comes to the game invites, much better this time around. It uses the actual XMB messaging system.
Okay.
In fact, if I wanted to, I could have just paused this game right now and just bring up my XMB, press triangle over somebody's name, and invite them straight from there.
Okay, that's pretty good.
It's not like the first game, which had its own sort of in-game kind of friend list, which had a couple of issues, let's say. I must be fighting for my life again. Don't worry, I get out of this. Fine.
You'll get him. A massive shotgun, you'll get him.
I just to reload every single time that. There you go. I don't know. And I even managed to pick up some health there. There's a couple of more bully monks. I don't think I need to actually kill these guys in this particular thing. I also managed to pick up a couple of items for a mission that, what's his name, Hamlock gave me. Pick up some bully monk hairs. What was I saying? Yeah, so co-op. It's great. And also this time around, one of the big complaints that Borderlands 1 had was that people would want to join friends, but they wouldn't know how far along in their friends' games. They wouldn't know how suitable it is now. On the title screen and in the pause screen, you can see if your friends are playing the game. It'll tell you what mission they're on, and it has a little icon next to their name. It can either be like a skull or a star or a tick. That is your indication as to how basically compatible your character is with your friend's game.
Okay.
So if it has a skull next to them, you can join your friend, but chances are that they'll be too weak, or you'll be too weak. Some of you might struggle with some of the enemies that have been scaled to meet a certain kind of middle ground between you. Which is still bad news for you if you're underpowered, but good news if you're overpowered. However, if you're overpowered, you might not get all that much XP from shooting enemies.
No, but conversely, if you're underpowered and you can kind of hide and leave your teammates to do all the killing, you will get an awful lot of XP.
Yeah, which is the way that it's always been. Time's kind of running out at the moment. I will say though that this is a really good game.
I will also say that from what I've played so far. I've only just made it to the Sanctuary is the base,
Sanctuary,
yeah. I've only just made it there so far.
Yeah. So, which obviously would have taken you longer than this whole footage, really, because this is me trying to power through it, and here I am. As a quick note, hopefully by the time that we get this video up, I will have a Twitter competition, which might be finished by the time you're actually watching this video. But keep an eye out on community.eu.playstation.com for more Borderlands goodness. Check out the thread and more and shoot 'em ups, and join the conversation.
Please do.
Yeah.
I endorse this campaign.
We'll leave you with the remainder of this footage. There's not that much left. Thanks very much for listening to us, and thank you, Serum Lake.
You're welcome. Thank you, Yaster.
See you guys later.